What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. Thanks for coming back with some more popcorns. Well, look at this crazy shit. Snow and blizzard outside. It's frozen. Yesterday it was 70 degrees here in Texas, and today it's 20, and it's starting to snow harder. I mean, like, everything's shut down. So, what better movie to review than Frozen? And I ain't talking about the Disney one. Yo! It's freaking cold outside. Take a back seat, Olaf, because we're not talking about the Disney Frozen. We're talking about Frozen 2010 horror film, directed by Adam Green. Real quick before we get started, if you haven't done so already, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button. So if any of you have ever been skiing on a mountain and been on a ski lift, when you saw this movie, it scared the shit out of you. Man, upon rewatching this again today, it was so stressful watching it, even though I knew it was gonna happen. It's so tense, and it's so well directed, and it's such a simple plot, but it's so badass. Came out in 2010, and this was way before the Disney Frozen. So real quick, let me talk about Adam Green for just 1 second. He's the guy behind the Hatchet films, especially 1, 2, and 3. 1 being the best, 2 and 3 kind of be equally as good, and then the last one after that, Victor Crowley, but he didn't even direct that one. But for a while in the early 2000s and all the way through the 2000s, him and this other guy named Joe Lynch and like Ty West, all these guys were up and coming horror directors that were just awesome. And actually Ty West has done a lot more stuff and he's still doing things, but like Adam Green and Joe Lynch, they just kind of disappeared or fizzled out in my opinion. Maybe they're doing other stuff that I'm not aware of, but like they were kind of like launching towards the mainstream, I felt like. And Adam Green is like really close friends to Dee Snider from Twisted Sister and Kane Hodder, who played Jason 4 times on all the Jason franchises, more than any other actor. But the way they really got to know each other is because Kane was Victor Crowley in the Hatchet movies. He had this sort of like sitcom-ish reality type show called Holliston, which is, there's a long story behind that, but there's kind of fun things in this movie that kind of represent that. But one of his best friends, who's a horror director, Joe Lynch, who did like Wrong Turn 2, one of the characters in this movie, Frozen, is actually named after him. So Frozen 2010, it's based on these 3 people trying to sneak into the ski resort, not pay for a ticket, bribe the guy operating the lift so they can get on and ski for free. Now this ski lift is only open on the weekend, closed during the week. The whole premise is they basically get stuck on this ski lift and nobody has any record of them because they didn't pay for a ticket. And look, that's it. That's the plot of the whole film. But it is so well executed and it's so badass and so scary. There's not a villain in this movie either. Nature's the villain, and it proved to be the toughest villain of all time. Remember when I said I'd come back to that whole Holliston thing about that show that Adam Green did? Well, they named the mountain they're skiing on Mount Holliston in this, so that's just kind of cool, little inside thing. And Shawn Ashmore as one of the guys being named Joe Lynch. So let's get to that right there. It's 3 cast members basically. Emma Bella, who's the girl, Kevin Zegers, who's our boyfriend, and Shawn Ashmore, who's the friend of the boyfriend. While there's a few more people in and out of this movie because they're on a mountain skiing and stuff like that, it doesn't focus on anybody else but these 3 characters, and it's so good. Not only does Adam Green paint this picture of how terrifying it would be to be stuck on a ski lift for a week in the middle of like a blizzard and everything, and yeah, that's right, a blizzard happens during this thing. While the movie throws you directly into the characters, like literally as the movie starts, you're just seeing the characters trying to sneak into this resort. But it does a good job of letting you get to know these characters before all the shit goes down. In fact, I'd say it's a good 25 or 30 minutes before anything really starts to happen because you're just getting to know these people, getting to know the characters, understand their relationships. But Adam Green starts teasing you early on and giving you some false scares and stuff. Like they actually get stuck on the lift for just about a minute at the beginning of the movie, and then they start skiing and having some fun, then get stuck later. But they even do some things like the girl trying to leave and go home and talk about doing some schoolwork, and they're like, no, please stay. And so they finally stay, and they even beg the ski lift operator to go up one more time. And he's even warning them, no, you can't go up, guys. It's already dark. There's a storm coming. You got to go. And they're like, look, one more time, please. And then that's it. We'll just ski right down and we'll go. So look, you know what's going to happen in this movie. It's all about them getting stuck. You look at the cover of the movie, I mean, you can tell, oh, but even knowing all that stuff, it's still so tense, and the buildup is just so nerve-wracking this entire time. Again, they're only stuck on a ski lift. That's it. But we all envision the ski lift as skiing and just this great vacation time. You never stop and think about what happens when nobody's around and the lights go out and nature starts to take its course. God, it is so scary. And Adam Green does such a cool job of like giving you all these camera shots that are really creative, that are making you afraid of things like the ski lift, making you afraid of snow, making you afraid of cold. And it's hard to explain unless you watch this movie, but once you see the way he does these camera shots, including the music along with the camera shots, he's treating nature like the villain. So instead of having these ominous zoom in close shots on something maybe creepy that's happening with a guy or someone hiding in the woods, it's just doing that with nature and the ski lift. And I'm telling you, it's extremely effective. That's why I don't understand what happened to Adam Green. He is such a good director. It's just like he disappeared. I'm really like, I don't know where he went. Now, a lot of people I've talked to when I tell them about this movie, they're like, well, why wouldn't they call anybody? Look, this took place in 2010, which means it was probably filmed more like 2008. Not everybody had a cell phone then. That was just the truth of it. It wasn't like it is now. But the way they describe how it all goes down with them getting on the ski lift, bribing the guy for the ticket, them begging him for one more ride up, and they do a couple other things to make you believe that they could actually shut this lift down while they're on it. And man, when it gets shut down and they start realizing they're stuck, oh my God, I'm telling you, you start feeling afraid. Like, it's different than watching a movie like a slasher or even like a psychological thriller. There's something about watching this movie, especially if you've ever been out in some really cold before. There's something about this movie that really gets to the fear inside you because you're just so helpless in this situation.
They forgot that we're up here. No one knows that we're up here.
They start realizing that, oh my God, they're closed for the week. We're going to be stuck up here for a week. And then they start realizing that there's a blizzard coming. Just all the things that go down that you don't think of that could happen. There's even a point where a guy in a snowplow is coming up the mountain and Kane Hodder's playing, a little Kane Hodder cameo. They do all these things to try to get his attention because it's already snowing like crazy and he's like got this sort of window of vision because he's going uphill and he's looking backwards to the left and stuff like that. They're throwing their skis down. They're even throwing some of their gloves down to try to get his attention, and it just happens to miss to where he doesn't see it. Oh, I'm telling you, when you're watching this, you're just so like, oh, please see. Please see them. And then when he just drives away, I mean, you get a shred of hope and then it's shattered. It's just the cold, quiet, darkness, evil nature. Oh, one of the other things I forgot to mention is when all the lights go out when they're stuck on the lift, because at first they're trying to like convince themselves, oh no, it's okay, it's all right, we're gonna be fine.
But no, they had to stop, celebrate it right there. We all just stay on the lift, freeze our asses off. Honestly, by the end of it, I couldn't feel my fingers. I was sitting there.
That's sort of the solidifying moment where they're like, oh my God, we're gonna die up here. I mean, all these things are starting to pile up already with the blizzard and things like that. Then it continues to get worse. They start realizing that they gotta pee. They start realizing frostbite's setting in because it's cold up there and the wind's blowing and the blizzard's coming in. The temperatures are dropping. Psychologically, they start to kind of lose it for a second. One of them loses a glove. So many things get worse and worse and worse. It's like, it's so stressful. And once they start tossing around the idea to maybe jump, there's a scene where he jumps, and I just got to tell you this part, when he jumps down and he has this whole leg break scene, it's stomach churning. And it's not even because it's all of that graphic. It's just you're so tensed up in this situation they're already in, which is horrible. And then this happens.
Legs are broken. Oh my God.
But how could it get any worse, right? Packs of wolves come out at night on the mountains. That's right. Big old packs of wolves. Hungry slaughter wolves. Oh my God. I'm telling you, I'm a horror movie master. Almost nothing gets to me anymore. But this movie, for some reason, there's something about it that just digs inside of me that just, it's very uncomfortable and unnerving. Because they are so absolutely helpless. And remember, I said that Adam Green does all these great camera shots throughout the film, and he does. Like the moments where he's showing the wolves and just the way he's getting you inside of these three characters' perspective. Amazing job on this movie, Adam Green. It should have gotten more notice and more awards. And that's what leads me to the scene to where when he broke his legs by jumping and then the wolves start eating him, Remember, they're sitting right above him on the lift. Just the way that is all shot, because you don't even see the guy. It's focused on Shawn Ashmore and Emma Bell and their characters, and they're trying to get through it because it's the guy's best friend and his girlfriend up there having to listen to this guy getting eaten alive. And he's just like, just don't watch, don't watch. And it's emotional, intense, and everything. I mean, you're kind of drained after that moment watching this movie, but there's still a lot more to go. Now they're slightly hysterical, a little bit in shock. They start to blame each other. All these realistic scenarios and things that would happen start to happen. The way the human mind and body would start breaking down, it's very well depicted in this movie, if you ask me. But remember, worse and worse and worse. They see their friend that just got eaten is almost completely buried in snow. By the time they wake up in the morning, more cold, more snow that just buried our eaten alive friend. Not to mention that she forgot she didn't have a glove and she slept with her bare hand all night on that cold ass pole.
I thought I was dreaming.
Oh yeah, and all this already happened. It's just, why don't you just go ahead and pee on myself? What else are you gonna do? I mean, come on. Look, I'm not going to tell you anymore because I don't want to spoil it for you. I really want you to watch it. I want you to see how it turns out because there's more that goes down, even after everything I told you. It's just so well done and so terrifying. Adam Green does an amazing job at taking this simple premise and plot and just making it something that you'll never forget. I swear, you watch this movie, you'll never forget it. Frozen, 2010, directed by Adam Green. I give it A+. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and if you liked it, hit that like button as well. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot